Hi there, it's Shamrocker again. Welcome to the Proud Heretic channel. Jesus and the Danger of Certainty. Now, I don't want to make sweeping claims here, but if we're talking about toxic certainty versus radical compassion, then I think the parable of the Good Samaritan is arguably the strongest biblical example. Why? Well, because Jesus deliberately overturns ethnic prejudice, religious tribalism, and purity concerns. The point of this parable is not simply to be nice. It's that the person the audience least expected became the very model of neighborly love. Now, in this parable, what do we see? The first thing we see, a lawyer wanted a boundary. The story begins with a lawyer asking Jesus, "Who is my neighbor?" Notice what he's really asking, though. He isn't asking, "How can I love more people?" He's asking, "Where does my obligation end?" It's a question about drawing boundaries, you see. Jesus responds by dissolving the boundary altogether. Because next we see the Samaritans were more than people from another town. Jews and Samaritans shared ancient Israelite roots, but centuries of political division, intermarriage, rival temples, and mutual hostility had created deep, long-standing, entrenched animosity. To many in Jesus' audience, the Samaritan wasn't simply different. He represented the religious outsider, the theological opponent, a half-breed, the person your community warned you about. But next we see Jesus deliberately reverses expectations, doesn't he? The injured man is first passed by a priest and then a Levite. These are precisely the people expected to embody God's law. Then comes the Samaritan, the one many listeners would least expect to exemplify this righteousness. As next we see compassion overrides ritual concerns. Some scholars suggest the priest and Levite may have feared ritual impurity if the injured man were dead, and we can see Numbers 19. Others caution that this is only one possible explanation, since the text itself doesn't explicitly say why they passed by. Regardless of the reason, though, Jesus' point remains. Compassion takes precedence over maintaining religious status and avoiding inconvenience. Next we see the neighbor is redefined. The lawyer asks, "Who is my neighbor?" Well, Jesus ends by asking, which of these three became a neighbor? The question changes from who deserves my compassion to will I become the kind of person who shows compassion? Jesus moves the focus from identifying worthy recipients to embodying mercy and love. We see mercy becomes the highest virtue here. The lawyer cannot even bring himself to say the Samaritan, can he? Instead, he answers, "The one who showed mercy." Jesus replies, "Go and do likewise." He says to you, "Go do likewise." He says to me, "Go do likewise." Not go and think likewise. Not go and vote likewise. Not go and believe likewise. But go and show mercy. And everybody is your neighbor. Well, who are the outcast and most despised in our social circles today? Immigrants, maybe? Black people? LGBTQ plus neighbors? Think about it. So what's the summary connection here in this parable? Well, the lawyer wanted to know where love could safely stop. Jesus answered by showing that love crosses the very boundaries that religion and dogmatism often build. You see, the surprising hero was not the priest. It wasn't the Levite. It was the person that many religious people would have dismissed as the theological outcast. They don't even matter. They don't even count as people. Well, that doesn't mean doctrine is unimportant, but it does suggest that compassion is never optional and should be subordinated, in fact, to the weightier matters. So I think the most compelling takeaway of the story is this. Jesus wasn't merely telling people to be nice or compassionate. He chose the person that his audience was most inclined to dismiss as a qualifying moral example. That's what made the story so unsettling in me. And so we see the pattern. Jesus repeatedly interrupts oppressive systems. He often prioritizes people, actual humans, over rigid rule-keeping. Maybe we should ask ourselves, what if compassion wasn't the exception? What if compassion was always the point?